What's good, chat? Welcome in this new video. Today I'm gonna let you know my personal opinion of what I think about the topic of is the trading possible as like a job or a money method like for everyone, or it's like more selective as a job itself. Um, I thought of this question not because anyone asked me to answer it specifically, but like because I saw a lot of people getting into day trading nowadays. And when I first started, I was very skeptic of the day trading space. First of all, because as I think you know, it's a bit full of scammer, core seller, and these things. Which is valid, okay? So it's very valid to be chat picked. And second of all, because if you look into any day trader, big day trader on social media, they're gonna say to you that day trading is for everyone, that you put if you put your effort in this thing, you're gonna eventually figure it out. So they are very optimistic with your results. And if you're not, I wouldn't say stupid, but if you like think just a little bit with your mind, you're gonna end up in the thought that they are just doing it to sell their course, and okay, and that's it. And that's completely, not completely, but that's in part true, in my opinion, okay? I really think the trading is definitely not for everyone. It's a very selective job. You need to be very self-delusional. You need to be very disciplined. Discipline is the best. Is like the most important thing, in my opinion. You need to be very patient. All these things, of course, can be like developed in the course of your journey into the trading, but you can't really develop the anger, because the anger is the most difficult one, in my opinion. So if you're not born with it, or like you don't start trading because you really need it, I really think this shit will not work out in the end for you, and you will just lose about a bunch of money. Okay, so do I think the trading is for everyone? No. Do I think it's impossible for someone that isn't born to do it, to like start and try? I don't think it's wrong, but I think you're gonna like save up a lot of money if you just stay away from day trading. Because as it was for me, but as it is for everyone, to learn, you need to spend and invest money in the market. And listen carefully when I say it. Spend and invest money in the market and don't waste, because when you spend money in the market, even full porting, it's an investment. Not because you expect a short-term revenue from that investment, okay? But it's an investment for your psychology, for yourself, because from that mistake, the human brain doesn't learn from wins and from all the time that like the market let you take some money away from it, okay? It doesn't you doesn't you don't learn when like your edge work in the market. You start learning when you start failing, okay? You start learning when you start failing more and more and more and more and more. So if you don't lose any money in the market, even full porting, even like revenge trading, even doing all this shit that you know you must not do eventually, you will not learn anything. And that's the first thing I say to like someone that comes to me. Like the other day, a old friends of mine came to me and said, "Can you teach me?" And I said, "Of course." But now, before we all start, I'm gonna say to you three things. If you don't have these three things in you, it's useless, it's completely useless that you start day trading, okay? The first one is you're completely self-delusional and you want at all cost of this shit to work out. The first things. And he said, yeah, I have it. Okay, beautiful. Second thing, you need a job, okay? You need a fixed income every month because like you need money to start the trading. It's not a myth. You can't start with $50. I mean, you can, but you need to be the luckiest person on earth because you're not gonna pass your first eval. If you do, you eventually will not get your first payout on your first passed eval. And if like you are so lucky to pass your eval and get your first payout on the first chance, you eventually will not get um, another payout, or you will blow all that money. But it's part of the game, okay? I even blown all my first 10k money. Like I wasted 5k, as I said before in the previous video thing. I wasted like 5k in clothes and shit on my girl and these things, which is great because like if you came into the market with the mindset that like I made 10k, I need now to reinvest all that money into the market. It's totally wrong because you made that money, and the second you put into your mind that you need to reinvest all those money into the market, you gave yourself the opportunity to lose it all. Okay, you didn't make anything because you're like putting all your profit, all your gains again into the market. So the first thing I say, if you you are able to make some money into the market, just spend it on your stuff. At least the first, because you're not experienced, so you're not your mindset, your mind is not developed yet to reinvest that money. So you will eventually blow it all again, as I did with my other half of the 10k, so like 6a or something. I blown it all on evils because in my mind I was like, yeah, I made 10k in 2 weeks. Now I am the goat. I can do it all. So like now let me full port every evils. I can do it, and that's how I blown like 6k in less than again 2 weeks. So second point, if you wanna start day trading, get a job. As easy as that. Or you have like some money saved apart. But the best thing, say, get a job that guarantee you a fixed income every month. Okay? Yeah, he said to me, yeah, I have a job. That's perfect. Now the third point, which is like the hardest to get, I think, which is longer also. And I say to him, are you willing to spend over a year, because in the majority of the case is over a year. Are you willing to spend over a year wasting money, wasting time? Sorry, not wasting. Investing money, investing time into the market, investing time into yourself, because trading is not about concept, is not about strategy, is not about models. But are you willing to spend 1 year working on yourself, on your psyche, even like doing yoga, this shit, to work with yourself? Because you need to start looking into your emotion, how you work with emotion, okay? Are you willing to do that? And that's, although it's the hardest part, it's definitely the easier part to say yes to, okay? And he said yes. So I sent him the TJR bootcamp, as like I started with it. I sent him the TJR bootcamp and I said, I know it's a bit strange, I know it's a bit like funny to watch, but watch it all, never skip a minute of it, even a second, because patient in trading is all. And yeah, let me know when you finish. It's been a week or so, didn't receive any update. Okay? And this basically lets you understand who you're competing to, okay? So you see the 97%, 98% statistics that like 2% of day trader made money into the market. It's probably true, but you're fighting against guys that just like to put money into live account and blow it all without any study, without any risk management or anything, okay? You're fighting against people that don't wanna put any effort in it, just as money and wanna blow it all too. Like the thought of making millions of it, okay? Straight up, straight up gambling people. So like 3 point to start the trading. It's as easy as that. So we now come back to the first question, which was, can everyone do day trading? The final answer is no. Can anyone try? Of course. But can anyone succeed? Of course not. Is the majority of people capable of succeeding in day trading? Again, no. I really think that the statistics is not true only because there are 90% of people just blowing in money into the market. But I also think that like the the 70%, 80% of people that are also studying it, okay, and actually putting effort into it, are not willing enough, are not disciplined enough to work also on themselves, because I swear I have a mentorship, of course, not of course, but I have a mentorship myself, and I can see with my students that the at least the 60% of them are all fucking obsessed, but so obsessed with learning new things. When I try to develop a new strategy, they say, let me know this strategy as soon as possible, because I need to know this new concept. I need to know the fuck are you doing, because you changed strategy. Why are you making so much money? I'm not. Nigga, you're not making as much money as me, not because of my strategy, because I'm trading your exact same strategy, okay? I made all my money with yours exact same strategy, okay? I achieved my 10k month with like probably a worse strategy than the one I'm giving to you right now, okay? So lock the fuck in, because it's all on you. It's all on you. It's only psychology. It's only fucking psychology. Just be patient. Wait for the A plus setup. Don't rush anything. And as simple as it may sound from my voice right now, it's the hardest thing to do in the world, okay? But you're gonna understand it only by trying. I like to, honestly, I like to think of trading as like a video game. For example, in Fortnite, we all, to be honest, the majority of us try to, when we were younger, or at least I'm talking to my generation. I'm 19 years old. At even one moment in life, had the thought about like going pro with Fortnite, okay, which is fine. But we then realized that it's not all about the best PC. It's not all about the best Wi-Fi. It's not all about having the fastest mouse, having the fastest ping. It's not about having zero ping, of course, it's very important. But at the high level, when like in World Cup, for in Fortnite World Cup, it's all about genetic, okay? You can work as much as you can. But at the end, the difference before, sorry, between the first and the second, it's all about genetics, okay? Um, it, and the same is if in trading, okay? You can be as obsessed as you want, but obsession in trading is nothing, is fucking nothing, it's useless. Other way around, is maybe worse to be so fucking obsessed, okay? As strange as it may sound. Because if you're only thinking about trading, you're not gonna make it. I started seeing results in trading, as I tell to my students, when I started doing something else, when I started going to the gym more often, when I started focusing on my mental health more often, when I started to strengthen my relationship with God more often, when I started spending time with my friends more often, I started seeing in results in trading really when I started giving less of a fuck about trading. So it's a very complicated game, and the best suggestion I can give you to succeed is just to try, make your experience, and you're gonna understand everything by yourself at some point. Everything. It's not about the secret video you clicked on YouTube that explain that your strategy isn't working, or the quant on TikTok that say your strategy doesn't work. All the guru on TikToks of the trading are making money only of courses. It's not about that. It's about making your own experience, understanding what is good for you and you only. Okay, so make your experience, get a mentor. I'm not saying get me as mentor, but get a mentor, because I did the mistake of not having any mentor, at least at the start. And why it was a mistake? Because I wasted more money than necessary. The most important thing, I wasted way more money than necessary, even not my own money, so that's not good. And also, your learning curve will be cut off straight. If you will take a year to learn something without a mentor, with a mentor could be 1 or 2 months, as this is that. Of course, experience is made by mistakes, so you will still need to make mistake into the market, but they will probably be way less if you find a good mentor, and way less worth of money, okay? So my PC is dying, so that's everything I wanted to tell you for this video, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.